It is a trend in societies, in governments, you know, declining civilizations, declining governments, declining societies as they begin to decay and fall apart. What they do, one of the hallmarks of behavior of a declining society, i.e., through the declining government, is it begins to eat itself. And then, the phraseology of eat itself is pretty, it's kind of ballistic, it's weird. It invokes a weird and not so appropriate image in the mind, of course. But I say that for a reason. And when I say the government begins to eat itself, what I mean is it begins to attack its own entities, its own people, its own citizens, its own businesses that it authorizes to do business. And it does this. It eats itself. These attacks, they manifest mostly through taxation and litigation. So as a studier and a student of history and law, I want to tell you, I am seeing blatant signs of a declining civilization, more so society, so-called Western society, more so this commercial society, if you want to get into it. And in this vein of what I'm speaking, I'm going to give you some points of public authority by which I believe substantiates my position. Number one, New York Times, 10 states accuse Google of abusing monopoly in online ads. The suit focuses on advertisements that generate a vast majority of the company's profits. All right? 10 states attorneys general today accuse Google of illegally abusing its monopoly over the technology that delivers ads online, adding to the company's legal troubles with a case that strikes at the heart of its business. Isn't Google an American company? So 10 states, on top of whatever else is going on with these legal things, there's stuff going on. Hey, I don't know if you're paying attention. The prosecutors said that Google overcharged publishers for the ads it showed across the web and edged out rivals who tried to challenge the company's dominance. They also said that Google had reached an agreement with Facebook to limit the social network's own efforts to compete with Google for ad dollars. Google said the suit was baseless and would fight the case. So you have a company in the United States that creates a business model through providing free services, Gmail, YouTube, Google search engine, and through all those services, it provides advertisements on its own platforms. And since it built out this business, and it doesn't want to compete. I mean, I'm not going to, look, if you selling apples and I'm selling apples, I'm not going to be nice with you, man. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Look, we competing. Unless we come together and we make an agreement, right? I don't know. So I guess that's a monopoly of sorts. Moving forward, Reuters.com, Texas. 9 U.S. states accuse Google of working with Facebook to break antitrust laws. Google faces third antitrust lawsuit as 30 U.S. states plan action. Anti-competitive behavior. They're going after Facebook. They're going after Google. I don't know. This, to me, what does it mean? To me, what do I see? I see, the state is beginning to eat itself. There's going to be taxation on the citizens. It's gonna happen, but Google's in the crosshairs. Robinhood. Wall Street Journal. Massachusetts regulators filed complaint against Robinhood. Popular trading platform exposed investors to unnecessary trading risks. What? Doesn't everybody know that you can lose all your money in the stock market? Most of us remember hearing stories of traders jumping out the window in the 1920s. Massachusetts securities regulators filed a complaint today against the wildly popular trading platform operated by Robinhood Financial, LLC, alleging the company aggressively marketed to inexperienced investors and failed to implement controls to protect them. In a 24-page complaint, the enforcement arm of the Massachusetts Securities Division said Robinhood failed to protect its customers and their assets, violating state laws and regulations. Robinhood exposed Massachusetts investors to, quote, unnecessary trading risks, end quote, and by, quote, falling far short of their fiduciary standard, end quote, adopted this year that requires broker-dealers to act in their clients' best interest. Am I a Robinhood fan? Not necessarily. Am I a fan of Google? No, not really. I'm confused. Oh, because states are broke. Meanwhile, Wall Street Journal, Bitcoin tops $20,000 for the first time. Bitcoin surged above $20,000 today for the first time in its 12-year history, part of a furious rally that has seen the digital currency nearly triple this year. Man, I know some people who got a nice, steaming, large helping of Bitcoin. Got Bitcoin all in their teeth. I got some Bitcoin. It's not in my teeth, though. Transfer of wealth. Alaska health worker had a serious allergic reaction after Pfizer's vaccine. So let's start getting into what we're going to talk about today. Cool? Health worker had the person had no history of allergies. Two similar reactions happened last week in Britain. A healthcare worker in Alaska had a serious allergic reaction after getting Pfizer's vaccine on Tuesday, symptoms that emerged within minutes and required an overnight hospital stay, bro. New York Times. Wall Street Journal, COVID vaccine trial volunteers note occasional harsh side effects. I woke up around midnight freezing, said 68-year-old retired nurse. For the next 24 hours, I had intense chills, serious neck pain, headache. All my joints were aching. End quote. Yipes. Reuters, Alaskan has allergic reaction after getting Pfizer's COVID. Hey, here we go. CNN Business, major. All right, let's jump into this. I know. Got started with the show a little late today. I had some stuff going on. It happens. It's rare. My apologies. I offer no excuses. CNN Business, major CEOs signal COVID vaccine mandates could be on the way. So let's get into the topic of the foundation today. Are forced vaccinations coming? Shout out to anyone that I've spoke to in the last couple of weeks, month or so. Your concerns with regards to this are warranted. I understand. I feel you. It is what it is. A part of the mission of the foundation is to help you break your dependence on the public. And here we go. Major CEOs signal COVID vaccine mandates could be on the way. Some business leaders are in favor of requiring their employees take COVID-19 vaccine. 72% of current and recent CEOs of major companies signaled an openness to vaccine mandates, according to a poll held yesterday at a virtual summit by the Yale Chief Executive Leadership Institute. The broad question did not specify whether the mandate would apply to all employees or just ones who needed to work in close proximity to customers and colleagues. That's us. We're the working class. Several CEOs indicated that such a mandate has not yet been formulated at their companies, and they want to see how early rounds of vaccinations go. The companies may also be reluctant to require the employees take vaccines until they have been fully approved by the FDA. The FDA. The FDA last week issued Emergency Use Authorization, or EUA, for Pfizer's vaccine. I don't know if you heard about the New York attorneys that are looking to make vaccines mandatory. A lot of people, New York lawmakers proposes making COVID-19 vaccines mandatory. Lawyers, what is this? Law.com, New York Law Journal, 2020, June 4th. State Bar Group calls. Okay? You with me? State Bar Group calls for mandatory vaccinations regardless of objections. Quote, some Americans may push back on the vaccination for religious, philosophical, or personal reasons, end quote, says the report released by the NYSBA, but it says, quote, for the sake of the public health, mandatory vaccinations should be required in the United States as soon as it is available, end quote. This is nothing new. This is from May 28th, 2020. There are concerns, valid concerns. Is a mandatory vaccine coming? Short answer, no. Long answer, if you depend on the public, if you have a job, the CEO of the company, a manager, of the company who has authority to make decisions could require that if you work here and if you want to come into work, you have to get a vaccination. Sure, you can try to find an attorney and go sue the company for, what? Unlawful termination. There's a lot of states in the United States that are at will employment, which means they can fire you whenever. That's real. Are you a nurse? Are you a teacher? Do you work with children? Are you in foster care? Do you work with food? Is your job dependent on food? In my opinion, any business, any public business, any public LLC, whatever, you're at risk. LLCs, the state that your business, your LLC, your family LLC is incorporated in, that state could mandate that all of its companies that do business with the public have to have, any employees or whatever, have to have vaccinations. They can mandate it. Can they force you to get vaccinated? I don't know. Force vaccine, they're not going to hold you down and stick you with a needle. We got too many guns in America. So I want everybody to just quit freaking out about that. No, not going to, they showed images of people being drug away in China. That ain't going to happen here. People, you get pack. There's too many like packs. I'm telling you, that's not going to happen. But can they coerce you? Yes, coerced vaccinations are here. Absolutely. Is your business that you require, that you participate in, whatever you do to generate income, is it licensed by the state? Is it permitted by the state? Possible. This is right here. This is why I be telling so many people it's time to establish your private estate. It's time to get your business trust and your family trust and blah, 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 and I be talking about it all the time. Why? Because can the state shut down a private business trust? Can the state require that the administrators, the trustees of a private contractual entity get a vaccination? The state doesn't even give the trust permission. The state has nothing to do with the creation or administration of the trust. So there you go. Now, if it's a private trust, in one specific instance, and I will admit, if you are administering a private business trust, like truly private, I'm talking pure trust, baby, complex, not playing. and the activity that the trust participates in is licensed or permitted. Like if hey, and people are like, oh man, oh dude, bro, I'm a realtor, bro. How do I sell houses? Well, listen, do you understand that the word realtor is a commercial term? It's a commercial title. You can do things that would appear to be what realtors do, as long as you don't call yourself a realtor. Certain states have rules. You can only do 3 houses a year. You can only do 4, and if you sell more than 3, then you got to get your realtor's license. Yeah, I mean, that exists, sure. Other things, a state can't regulate trust in its private transactions, whether it's real estate or not. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? I hope so. This is all I say. Do you depend on a public company that owes its existence and governance to state legislation for your bread and butter to feed and clothe yourself and your children? It's possible you might be forced into being vaccinated. I'm not even going to play with you. You can huff and holler and all that stuff. They got security. They ain't trying to hear that. They're not trying to hear that. I've seen people get hurt for not wearing a mask, trying to walk into a Walmart on video, let alone you trying to stand on your perceived private rights when you're a public school teacher. Good luck with that. That's not going to happen. And they got everybody scared about this, about this pandemic. And, possibly rightfully so, but, people make weird decisions when they're scared, when they're in fear. You understand what I'm saying? And people in fear don't care about you. They're scared. If I'm afraid for my life and my health, regardless how rational my fear is, I don't care about you, man. I care about your job. I don't care about you. You can be sovereign Russian alien. I don't care, fam. I'm over here scared and worried about self, me, myself. It's something to think about. It is what it is. Major CEOs. And if the CEO, the chief executive officer, runs the company, man, presents, proposals to the board, if there is a board. If not, they get, most of the time, if there's no board, the only governance is the state and the operating agreement or bylaws of the company. CEO runs it. CEO is like the president of the United States, you know what I'm saying? The only one above the CEO is like the state, the court systems. The only one above the president is the Supreme Court. So these CEOs be like, yep, every employee, due to the pandemic and what are they're going to put it all in. It's going to be so politically correct the way they word it too. I mean, man, it's going to come straight out of human resources and marketing, how they word it due to, the current pandemic and the high susceptibility of they're going to say they're going to make it inclusive, elderly and vulnerable population. So now we're making it an entire community issue. Our elderly and vulnerable population. It has been decided under much deliberation and determined that starting January 15th, 2021, all employees of insert your company name must be vaccinated by such and such date and show proof, or you will not be able to enter the premises. They're not going to say you're fired. They're going to say some really cold words, basically about you putting people's health at danger so that you can't come on the premises. So you did something and you can't come on the premises. This allows you to do your job, and therefore we have to let you go. Go ahead, get your unemployment. The government is giving us stimulus anyway. We don't care. Take the money. Get your unemployment, but you're donezo. You're donezo. I don't know. They got ideas flying around about vaccination cards and vaccination IDs and things that you can pull up on your phone, and it's green if you're vaccinated and it's red if you're not. Who's to say how this is going to play out? I will tell you, the corporate level of major companies and small companies are tripping right now. They're thinking, here, you want me to put it in perspective for you? They're thinking liability and lawsuits. That's what they're thinking. You go to work, someone at work has COVID, you get COVID, you get sick and die. Or let's say you go home and one of our elderly and vulnerable of the population lives with you and you get them sick and they die. This is what companies are worried about. Please believe it's not to save the planet no, man. No, it's liability, player. It's lawsuits. Absolute lawsuits. I will tell you this. And please believe don't believe what I'm saying. Please don't believe what I'm saying. Research what I'm saying. Look at what happened to Monsanto. Boom. And look at what happened to it was that company that made OxyContin. I can't remember the name of the company. But that company that made OxyContin, they lost in court. Monsanto lost in court. OxyContin, that company, or whoever, they lost in court too. And that's setting precedent. You know what I'm saying? They're starting to hold these companies liable. Even if they're making JP Morgan pay just a little under $1 billion in fines for manipulating the market. I mean, they're making them pay something. Like, things are kind of changing. Whether you want to agree or disagree, things are changing. The world is changing. So your dependency on the public is your choice. It's your doing at this point, It's also your undoing if you so choose. Now, what do I see? I see companies requiring vaccines of their employees, not so much of their customers. All these numbers dropping, sales going down and stuff, I don't think companies are going to do too much to upset their customer base. You know what I'm saying? I accidentally walked into a gas station without my mask on. Because me personally, I don't care. I'll wear a mask, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I'm not tripping. I don't participate in public controversies. So I'm not going to not wear it and people, then I'm going to have to knock somebody out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to deal with all that. But, I ran in there and I was like, oh, man, I'm sorry I forgot my mask. I was genuinely sorry. And he's like, it's okay. We're just told to get you out of here as fast as possible. Yeah, they're trying to get that bread, I'm telling you. And I ran outside. I grabbed it out the whip and I put it back on and I came back in and stuff. But, yeah, they want that bread. So I don't really see as a customer, as a regular, average Joe, Jane, you know what I'm saying? My bad. As the average one of us out here, I wouldn't, on that side, not so much. You got a job, though. You have an employment. I would be concerned. If I had a job, I'd be concerned. Especially if I had a job where the business is like straight up customer facing, which means, people deal with customers in and out because, liability. Customer come in, Karen walk in, do her dance, Karen leave. Karen's kid gets the dance, gets the pandemic, gets the vid. Karen's uncle might have some bread and Karen's uncle just might finance that lawsuit because, he really, really liked his little nephew or whatever. Look, this is what these companies are worried about. I'm just letting you know. Do you think these fools are worried about saving you and making sure you're healthy and saving the planet? Bull crap, fam. Bull, 100%. Now, with the New York attorneys talking about, people are going to say religious and personal reasons. Me personally, I don't think that's anything to be concerned about. And I was telling, one of the trustees earlier today, I think that, some of the stuff that's put in the news is put in the news to bring awareness. Like, if I knew that the only way for you not to have to take a vaccine is for you to claim personal or religious reasons, and I know that most people are ignorant, let's just say that, just ignorant to, you can claim that. I would maybe, if I had money, I run a law firm and I want to put people on the game, I would just whatever. It's filing paperwork. Let's file some paperwork and say that you can't use your religion or personal reasons to not take the vaccine. Just that right there lets people know, oh, what? You can use personal and religious reasons to not take the vaccine? And I think there are certain actors and certain elements and people and groups of people out there that are constantly working against, the quote powers that be. How else do you reference that stuff? I don't know, powers that be. And I think, those attorneys who said we're going to make it, mandatory and your religious and personal reasons, I just think they just put your the info, the Kool-Aid, the juice on blast. What does it mean to them? They can claim ignorance. Oh, we didn't know. We thought you could really make it mandatory and not recognize religious principles. And they knew the whole time, but, they're not putting themselves on blast by just straight up telling you, oh, claim personal religious. I mean, that's, you kind of put a target on your back versus, claiming ignorance and being like, well, we tried to make it mandatory regardless of these reasons. We didn't know that these reasons weren't able to be overturned. Oops. Now it's in the public. I think there's elements like that out there. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? But look, our mandatory vaccinations coming? I don't think so. Are forced vaccinations coming? Yes. What's the difference between mandatory? Mandatory is they hold you down, they stick you with, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing you can do about it. That's mandatory. Forced coercion. What's force? Force, you either become susceptible to a force or you overpower or return equal or greater force and don't come under that force. Y'all follow what I'm saying? And the strongest force to push against any public encroachment is setting up your private estate. Is setting up your private businesses. 100%. You be like, oh, I'm a realtor. How do I sell houses? Bro, contract through your private business trust. Can the state say that the business trust can't sell more than these many properties? What? You can't privately you trying to tell me you can't privately? I've seen it. I've seen people get a house under contract and then assign the contract to someone else for more money and then go to the closing table and get cut a check of the difference. You telling me there's no way I can do real estate without permission from the state? You're telling me that there's no way that you can cut hair? All the barbers out there. You telling me that there's no way you can give me a fade? Oh, they took my barber's license, fam. So, stop calling yourself a barber. And of course, you have some, like, some barbers, they use certain chemicals and stuff. We gotta be aware of that. There's some things, there are public laws and rules and regulations to protect people, People need to be protected. But overall, why I need you to protect me from this brother giving me a fade? What, he gonna burn my fade up? He gonna burn my fade? You gonna put a bald spot in my head? And that's what I'm saying. There's so many things that can be done to generate income. You don't need to go and get a job to do it. You don't need to go and go to college to learn how to, if you can think outside the box, there's so much more stuff outside the box. So many more opportunities. So many things that you're able to do. And in that vein, setting up your private estate and becoming independent of the public. You don't have to worry about forced vaccinations. You don't have to worry about getting up at a certain time. You don't have to worry about getting ridden up because you was in traffic or your daughter was sick when you woke up and you had to take care of her and these fools was tripping because you was late. We don't have to deal with all that silliness, yo. When you are in control, when you control everything and own nothing. You ain't worried about it. I'm telling you, the only people who are asking me what I think about vaccinations are those who have dependency on the public. In some way, they're dependent on the public. Whether it's a license or a permit or they got a job or something. Everyone, I feel, that is asking me about these forced vaccinations, that's the position they're in. Some sort of dependent situation. If I don't get this forced vaccination, they can take this away from me. There's something that they can take away from me that ultimately takes money out of my pocket, food off the table, sustenance out of my family's belly. You got the Fed chair, the Minneapolis Federal Reserve head, saying that we need more lockdowns for COVID. This nigga's a banker. How do these? You got Bill Gates. Is he a doctor? Dr. Gates? Is his name Dr. Gates? Talking about vaccines. This stuff is weird. You think it's gonna calm down? Do you think that what we're seeing before our eyes is gonna get worked out and everything's gonna go to a more normal situation, more sustainable, more stable, a livable situation? Do you? I don't think so. There have never been a so-called vaccination. Inoculation? Is that what you mean, inoculation? Are you one of those people that just want to get real stickler on specific words and miss the overall point? One of those people that can't see the forest through the trees? You said stop calling it a vaccination. So do you want me to call it inoculation? Is that specific enough for you? You don't tell me to stop. Y'all crack me up. Y'all some interesting people. Very interesting. But it is what it is. Ultimately, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Also not. Okay, so what is then? Add. Make an addition. You over here subtracting. Don't. Stop. Not. Come on, fam. What's good? Your energy is off. One of what people? I'm moving on, man. You tripping. So it is what it is, man. It's like when you're dependent on government, when you're dependent on someone else to give you what you need, there's going to be fear. It is what it's going to be when it's going to be. And with fear comes, mistake, anxiety. So you can choose that or you can choose control. And control is just take control of your life, set up your private estate, get your private affairs in order. Set up industry, at least entities that exist outside of the public, because it's something that's necessary. It's something that's necessary. It's being independent and not having to depend on someone or something else to sustain you and your family. Peace, bro, is absolutely wonderful. It's a wonderful feeling. It's an empowering feeling. And I'm not saying, you got to 100% reduce your dependency on public. That's going to be impossible, naturally. 100% impossible. But what is possible is reducing your dependency. Is different if let's say, I don't know, maybe you run a business, maybe you sell something, maybe you run a cleaning service. I don't know what you do, but you do it on your own time. You're in control. You run the show. Even if you do have a job, and they come through and they're like, look, you got to take this vaccination, otherwise you can't work here. You're going to be in a different position. You're going to be in a different place mentally if you're not fully dependent on that employment. You are. It's just hands down. That's just what it is. There's nothing more to be said. Yeah, maybe you're going to lose out on some income, some fiat, some cash flow. But at the very least, you know you can maintain your integrity and at the same time still put food in your stomach. And maybe you'd have to make some sacrifices. Maybe you got to get, the ground beef instead of the steak. I don't know. I don't know how you eat. But, that's it. I think being in a position to make that decision, being in a position to maintain your moral compass and say, nah, man, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to. Or be like, you know what? I don't care. I was in the service. I was in the military. I got 40,000 vaccinations. What's another vaccination? I'm good. I got this. Either way is, I know what it feels like to feel as though you don't have control. To feel as though you don't have a say. And to feel as though you're at the mercy of someone else. And, no one likes to feel like that. So I'm not saying, go quit your job and start your own private business through a business trust. I'm just saying, just make a little bit of movement towards, becoming less dependent on the public. That's all I'm saying. And, whether you do that or not, it's on you. It's not up to me to tell you what to do or how to do it. And, I respect free will. It's just one of those things, you know what I mean? So I appreciate y'all checking out the show. We got about, 7.5 minutes left. I've, pretty much ranted, about what I was going to rant about. I don't really talk about, stuff like this, public stuff like this, outside of just going over current events. But, it's one of those things where, I've had a lot of people have asked. A lot of people have, are concerned. They want to know what I think. And, I appreciate that, people think and respect my opinion. I appreciate that. So I felt the need to, talk about forced vaccinations. I really did. And to let y'all know, I really don't see I don't see it. I don't see them holding you down, on a stretcher, coming in your house, boom, kicking the door. They each got these, silver, the syringe that looks like a pistol, but it's got the, the movie stuff. And just, for people screaming, lamps breaking, shower head broke, water everywhere, and they're just sticking you with needles. I don't see it. I don't see it. Is it going to happen? I don't know. But do I see it? I don't see it. We got too many packs. I mean, this is America. There's pack everywhere. It would be a problem. It would be a serious problem. And there's these patriots, they're not going to go for it. It's not going to shake. Not at all. So, our forced vaccinations coming. Mandatory. Yep. Mandatory if you work at a business. If you an employee, watch out. Don't participate in no public controversy, though. Don't get brolic and start cussing people out and, making us look how they want us to look. It's one of them things. Is it a vaccination? I don't know. Me personally, I'm not telling you what to do. Me personally, I don't like them sticking me with nothing. I'm with Dr. Sadie. Stay out of their hospitals. I got elders in my family live long time, old. Like, what's your secret? Stay out them hospitals and off their pills and stuff. So I don't even like aspirin, family. I have a headache. I'm gonna drink some water, eat some food. I'm gonna go to sleep. And if that don't work, man, we're gonna break out the sea moss, the bladderwhack, the elderberry, the zinc, colloidal silver, alkaline water. We're gonna get it. I do not like that. I don't like anything synthetic. You know what I mean? If it didn't come from the earth, and you had to take it and do all types of chemical dances with it, and anything that's patented, I don't like to put in my body, just so you know. Have you ever thought about it like that? Do you put patented products in your body? I don't like that dance. So, I don't know. Forced vaccinations? No. Don't see it. Just relax, chill, take a deep breath. Are you employed though? Maybe you can't take a deep breath. Maybe, every day you punch in, you go and you're sitting there or you're working or whatever. You're just dreading the day where, you get an internal email or your supervisor comes and tells you that, oh yeah, by the way, you got to be vaccinated by next Friday. Otherwise you can't work here anymore. You see what's coming? There's a fracture coming. A fracture between, I don't want to say the public and the private, but how I will describe it is it's between those who allow themselves to be ruled and those who won't. Okay? That's what's coming. And what I see is the powers that be, quote, are attempting to manipulate what's coming into some kind of civil war or race war or something like that, when really it's not about that. This is about rights, private rights versus public rights, and dependency, really, straight up. And lines are being drawn, choices are being made, and you got certain people who are just not with masks. They don't. It's not a vaccine. There's not this, it's not that, it's this, and they're just not with it. You got some people who, they have their. I read the 48 Laws of Power. I don't know if you did. And I think it's Law 38. I don't know. I could be tripping, but it might be 38, where it says, you think how you want, but talk like everybody else. It's the squeaky wheel that gets the oil player. I'm private, babe. I don't want you looking at me. I don't want to bring any focus, any attention my way. But that's just me. I'm not out here protesting and throwing up signs and contacting some representative that doesn't represent me but represents this individual entity that I administer. Very interesting. But this is all fiction, y'all. It's all fiction. All of it. It's not real. Understand what I'm saying? It's not real. But there are real implications to your life. And with that being said, I'm going to wrap it up. Let me check, see if there's any callers. We got 90 seconds, about 60 seconds left in the broadcast. If you're online, you want to call in, 563-999-3625. Otherwise, you will be disconnected. It happens every time. It's weird. But yeah, I mean, there's my take on it. I don't really have much else, I mean, get into trustee training. What else is there? I mean, let's be honest. It's time to establish your private estate. It's time. What else are you going to do? If it's not now, then when? When? the public is going to be further and further locked down. You're going to have to take more and more concessions. Going to have to take more and more crap and make more and more compromises of your faith, your integrity, and your morals. The longer you stay in the public, if you think I'm playing, stay out there. Go ahead. If you don't believe me, stay in the public for another 5-10 years. See what happens. See how it goes. See how it pans out for you. But, that's it. That's all I got for y'all. I love y'all. I really do. I do these shows to really just give y'all information. Make informed decisions. Question what's before your eyes. Maybe try to spark some sort of creativity. Some sort of action to do different things so you can get different results. People hear me say all the time, I've been all over the world, everywhere I went. The people who look like me were in the lowest economic position. And the foundation is my way of working against that sad fact, which was everywhere I went in the world, the people who look like me were in the lowest economic position. In the world. It's not just America. It's not just United States. It's not just your hood. This is all over. And it's ridiculous. So that's the mission of the foundation, reestablish, foundational education of what commerce is and, individuals and entities and business and jurisdiction, And know that there does exist an entity, legally, lawfully, not to be questioned, 100% valid, that is not created and does not owe its existence to the state, any state, Hawaii, Michigan, Illinois, California, Rhode Island, it doesn't matter, Pennsylvania. It owes its existence to the contract itself and not to any state. Therefore, it is not governed by the state. That is a mind blower. When you print off paperwork from your printer, go to a notary and get it notarized, call the IRS and get an EIN, and walk into a bank and get a bank account, that's when it starts popping off in your brain. There's different things going on here. There's things that these people know that they're not telling me. And there's things that I didn't know this my whole time on this earth up until now, that I'm just learning. And it's an epiphany for everyone that I work with. And I would love to be a part of your epiphany as well. So email me, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. Jump into this trustee training. Establish your private estate. Sign up for the email list. Right now, there's a crazy, crazy offer going for email subscribers. We're right about in the middle of it. The reminder blast will go out tomorrow, likely. And, jump your hands on it. Do you think this stuff is going to get any better? It's going to get any more easy and convenient with regards to the public? Man, it's not. And, I don't like to see people suffer. And selfishly, y'all look like me more than other people. So I identify more with, So I see myself in y'all, and when I see y'all hurt, it's easier for me to perceive myself in that situation. So there's empathy there, It really is, man. Come on, man. What? It was 2007 when I was like, wow. So this is what it is, and this is a big game worldwide. And they holding my people down economically every continent that I stepped foot on, every island that I stepped foot on, every city that I stepped foot in. The majority of the people who look like me were in the lowest economic position. I'm telling you. Do you think this is going the way you want it to? We're about smack dab in the middle of the greatest wealth transfer in the history of mankind. How much money you got? You doing all right? Admin at Welcome to the Foundation. It's time to do different things. Do different things so you can get different results. With that being said, I'm out of here. I got some obligations, so I will not be going to the phone line. Shout out to you, shout out to you, and shout out to you. Shout out to the callers. Shout out. I appreciate y'all checking me out. I appreciate the new people checking out the show. Thanks for checking out the foundation. Make sure you check out the website, welcometothefoundation.com. I also appreciate, respect, honor the OGs, those who've been coming to, check out the show, getting their hands on the content, making moves to better themselves, to better their family. Shout out to you. It's been a great journey, and we're just gonna continue. We definitely continue. We're about to close out the year 2020. It's almost over. We got 2 weeks? Can you believe it? 2 weeks? The whole year. What happened? What'd you do? What'd you learn? Did you learn a new skill? Did you create new income sources? Let me tell you something. You need to get in on the wave that is called woke. Woo! It's like the biggest fad I've ever seen right now. It's called being woke and all the accessories that go along with it. If you understand what I'm saying, it's crazy. But like I said, admin at welcometothefoundation.com. This is not about money. This is not about commerce. This is about lineage. This is about significance, and this is about the heirs, successors of what you create, of your wealth, of your estate, successors of your bloodline, successors of your family name. And obviously, successor trustees. I don't care how much you make. How much did you keep? How much did you pass on to your heirs? Those who are here because you made specific choices and created heirs. How much did you leave them? I don't care about your successes. What did you do and what are you doing that is significant in the lives of those you created that depend on you and those that love and care about you and the broader community and society at large? Tell me what's good. Because to me, it's all about heirship. And if you ain't on that train, you on the wrong tracks, baby. You on the wrong train. They food is bad on that. Whatever train you on, food is terrible. You're going the wrong way. The air is bad. You're probably going to get robbed pretty soon. You're probably going to get robbed the whole time. Every time you go to sleep, they're taking money out your pocket. But I love y'all. I really do. I ain't even met y'all. But I identify with you. I identify with your struggles. I identify with your fears. I identify with your insecurities. I identify with your traumas. I identify with your failures. But most importantly, I identify with your hopes, with your dreams, with those beliefs of something better, of a better you, a better bank account, a better love life, a better family. And I support you in those dreams, in those hopes. And I'm here to serve and assist in any way I can your pursuit of those dreams and those hopes. And I am adamantly convinced that it starts with getting in line with your ancestors that came before you and those that will come after you, taking care of your family first, being accountable, being responsible, and making the decision and determination that I will take it upon myself to reestablish my private estate, and I will convert my energy and time on this earth, however limited, to the creation, sustainment, and growth of my family's name and my family estate. That no state or government undeservingly tax or litigate the possessions or wealth that I gained through the conversion of my labor and my life given to me by my parents and my creator, not by any government. and ensure and be a proper steward of my wealth, of my energy, of my life, and pass it on to those deserved most of my possessions and wealth gained through the exchange of my labor and my life, and those being my heirs. I have more responsibility to my family than I do any government, than I do any city, any hood, any block, any side, any man or any woman. And if you do not hold those principles true in your heart, in your mind, it might be time to question yourself and question your purpose and question what you're doing and why you're doing it, so that you can be a better man or woman, father or mother, brother or sister, daughter or son, friend, companion. It starts in your spirit, it starts in your mind, and it manifests through everything that you do and say. And that is the path of the Sot. Are you a Sot? Are you a seeker of truth? Are you a speaker of truth? Or are you just out here trying to receive accolades and likes and people saying, yo, they're cool, they know stuff, you're smart, good job. Cookie, here's a cookie. Here's a medal. Let's celebrate you. Make a choice. We soldiers in the war of the worlds, whether you acknowledge it or not. I would like to say peace to Yusuf L. You know what I'm saying? As well as, those who are, truly out here trying to teach and trying to help people raise, and educate fallen humanity. And, all the haters with the weird energy, you know what I'm saying? Don't be sad. Just start building. Build something. And stand back and marvel at your work instead of trying to tear down someone else's. It's interesting. Check yourself. But to all my family, I love y'all. To my peoples, you know what I'm saying, trustees, family, hey, this is for y'all. And, I don't want y'all to be freaking and nervous and weird negative energy about some vaccine or whatever, man. We got to stay square. We got to keep our energy in line. That negative energy, that stuff causes illness, that? Worry and stuff, man. Handle your business. And, be charged in your duty and in your actions with the responsibility of your station where you are in your family and what you're going to do. You're about to right wrongs of generations, y'all, when you establish this private estate. You're going to have spiritual situations, experiences. I promise you. People, I didn't think setting up private trust would be this spiritual and emotional, man. Like, yeah. A lot of people, when they're watching football, they didn't know that in order to play, you had to do all those drills and running through the tires. I didn't know you had to run through tires. Yeah, I run through tires. I flip the tire. I beat the ropes. I do all this stuff that you don't watch me do, so I can do the things that I'm doing that you think are great. So it is what it is, Invest in your private education, but, don't be concerned about this stuff. And if you're worried about being forced to do anything in the public, start working on, chiseling away against and at those chains of dependence that are attached to you that derive from the public. And no, you're not going to snap your fingers and they all fall off, but, it takes time. And, hey, what better time to start than now? And with that being said, I trust that y'all have a great week, that you enjoy yourself, and that you were able to, pick up and, gain something from this episode of The Foundation. And, keep it up. Keep your working on. I believe in you. I really do. So you don't know me. You never met me. I don't care. There's a whole bunch of people I don't know and never met that they be doing their dance, regardless if I know them or not, regardless if I believe in them or not. So I know that to be true. So why not believe in you? And out of everyone, most people that I come into contact with, I think we need people to believe in us more than anyone else. So if no one else believes in you, I believe in you. I really do. And, I love you. I really do. Not no weird kind of love. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up love. Like, this is what we need. This is what we're missing. And, I don't like to talk about what the problem is. I just like to offer the solution. So I appreciate y'all checking out the show. I appreciate everyone who's checked out the show, all y'all, to this whole time, the whole show. Y'all been listening to me talking. Man, y'all are the great. Y'all are the greatest. Y'all are the greatest. So, shout out to y'all. And everybody who's working to better themselves. And however you do it, you're great. And, you deserve someone to say, yo, that's what's up, man. Keep it up. And I'm saying that. That's what's up. Keep it up. You're doing great. And quit being so critical, because no one is going to be as critical on you but yourself, or a hater who will never acknowledge how they're whack, but only want to talk about how other people are whack. Stay away from those people. But y'all have a great week. Enjoy yourself. You know what I'm saying? Anything I help you with, email me. Admin at welcometothefoundation.com. Set up a consultation. Jump into trustee training. Let's do that dance. Let me help you change your life. That's what I like to do. And with that being said, y'all have a great week. Enjoy yourself. I will catch you here next week. Same spot, the hottest radio network on the planet. High Frequency Radio Network. My name is So L, and I am not Yusuf, y'all. I don't know why y'all keep thinking I'm Yusuf, but I'm So L, the host of the Foundation on High Frequency Radio Network. And y'all, I'll catch y'all next week. Peace to the gods.
High Frequency Radio.